Right, this is lines 220 to 227 from Ovid's account of Daedalus and Icarus in his Metamorphoses, and it also corresponds to a portion of what Cambridge Latin course in stage 44 calls section 5 in that stage 44 of the 5th edition. And it begins here at Et Yam. So, and already on the left side, on the left part, move this line here, on the left part was, and we assume was because we don't really have a verb here, was Junonian Samos. Juno's Samos, her favorite place. And then parenthetically, Ovid says, both Delos and Paros relicti fuerant, or honestly, we could say relicti errant, had been left behind, the pluperfect passive. Lebinthos was on the right, was dextra, and Calymne was on the right, and Calymne is described as fecunda mele, um, uh, fragrant with its honey, fecunda with its honey. When the boy, and we know that boy is Icarus. Sorry, fecunda means wealthy or rich in honey. Here, when the boy Icarus began to rejoice, audaki wulatu, in bold or daring flight, flying. So that I there from the ablative singular of third declension adjectives. And he abandoned his leader, he deserted his leader, and drawn by his desire of the sky, he took a higher route. So he flew a higher route. It's worth pointing out here that earlier Daedalus was described as Tractus Loci Natalis Amore. He was drawn by the Amore, not the Cupidne, but the Amore of his native land. And here his son is described as drawn by the love, not of his native land, but just of the sky. So a nice juxtaposition, a nice contrast there. Well, the vicinity of the hot, the blazing sun softens his odoratos keros, the sweet-smelling wax. Remember that wax earlier was described as golden or yellow. And the wax here is described as the winklet, the bindings of his feathers. And that wax had grown soft, had begun to melt. I don't normally do this, but it's worth noting that, it's worth noting the geography here. So he says that Samos was on the left, and they had already passed by Delos and Paros, and Calymne and Lebenthos was on the right. So let me draw up something here for you. All right, so here is a map from Cambridge Latin course, stage 44, and this is where they're going. They're going from Crete to Athens, so this is the route that they should be taking. If Samos is on the left, and they've already passed Lebenthos and Calymne, or they've already passed Paros and Delos, sorry, and Lebenthos and Calymne are on the right, well, they haven't done this, they've done this, and they're flying this way. And I really want to point this out because if you just look at the Latin and don't think about what Ovid's saying, Icarus is the one that's responsible for their disastrous flight, right? He gets distracted and he falls, and that causes Daedalus to not complete the task that he set out to complete with these wings. But it's really, really clear by the geography that they are way off course. They are going the opposite direction of Athens before Icarus gets overwhelmed by the experience. And so Daedalus Daedalus, no doubt about it, is absolutely at fault here for their flight, and possibly for Icarus's death.